So, the second race from Snetterton about to get underway. Let's take a quick look at the grid. It's Max Bartel on pole, Ben Sims alongside him, Wesley Mitchell, Simon Toyne and Brian Morris, Chris Sharples. That's your top six. This is the grid taken from the results of race 1, which means we've got lots of quick drivers from the back. We've got James Hadfield back there, Michael O'Brien, James Buckton, Perty Kaviri as well. So this should be very interesting indeed, because of course O'Brien, pole position from qualifying. He'll be starting about their 23rd, and he will be the driver we ride on board with for the start of the race. The lights go out, and immediately you see O'Brien picking up a place. That's Nick Arden, he's got himself ahead of the novice driver, and that good start from O'Brien. Into the bulk of the field now. You're in a bit of the pit lane exit to come up on the inside into Richie's corner, and just not quite take the pace he wants to for the corner, because obviously he doesn't sort of run into the back of the cars in front. There's somebody taking the grass. Quite tell who that was, and now O'Brien up on the inside. Look, the clouds a bit dark here at Snetterton. Let's hope they've got no rain. That side looks a lot better, but as it usually does, the weather coming from Richie's, and that's where it's a bit dark overhead. But it's still bright over the circuit for the moment. It's Ben Sims that's made the better start at the front. He's got ahead of Max Bartel. So Bartel in second. The rest of the field then heading over to Agostini. It's Mitchell in third, Toy in fourth, then Morris in fifth. See if we can pick out the fast runners. There's O'Brien and Hadfield together. They're just going ahead of Louis Handel. John Coe even, who's driving that car. It's the Alden Mark 8. Handel not here this weekend, in fact. But heading back on board with O'Brien. He's picking off another car up on the inside into Augie's. He goes there, still side by side. O'Brien leaving the gap there on the left-hand side of the circuit. He takes the position as he turns his way through Williams. Next up, that's Andrew Wiggins. So then, with power, 20 straight, using the slipstream with the Titan of Wiggins, and then up on the inside and underneath the vehicle bridge. O'Brien gains yet another position. Kevin Stanzel we can ride on board with now. He's following Chris Sharples, turning through Bombhole and down towards Coram Curve. Down towards Murray, you can see the front runners already breaking away. This being the battle for a 6th position. Sharples ahead of Stanzel. Now the slipstream coming into effect. I think a good exit from Murray's as well for Stanzel has allowed it to come up alongside as they cross the line, and Stanzel should take that 6th position as they turn into the right-hander at Richie's as they start the second lap for this race. Yeah, Stanzel gets that 6th position and more battling. This is Perty Kaviri. He's of course recovering as well. He's going around the outside of Nicholas Ball, I think that was, in the 23 car. Yes, Nicholas Ball in the Marlin Mark 20. And now down towards the right-hander at Montreal on the inside of Roland Svensson that time for Kaviri as he picks up the places as well. Not quite as quick as O'Brien though. Down the straight then towards Agostini. Just work out where O'Brien was after that first lap. The answer to that is 10th position. 23rd to 10th in a lap for O'Brien. Great opening then lap for him there, and here he comes on the inside of Sharples though. He's already picked off a few more on this lap, so that's 7th place. So he's gained another 3 places in the first 4 corners of this lap. James Hadfield going with him pretty well, so good stuff from Hadfield. Let's take a look at the leaders though on the Bentley straight. It's Sims with Bartel looking for the slipstream. They come past our camera position. Still the Jomo in front, but the Merlin of Bartel used the slipstream. Now he can go round the outside through Brundle, but Sims holds on to the lead then. So we've got 4th is Toy, 5th Brian Morris, 6th is going to be a change because Michael O'Brien goes through ahead of Kevin Stanzel, and up to 8th as well is James Hadfield. So I think it was Sharples in 9th, who was just ahead of James Buckton, another person coming up through from the back. Here the leaders and into Murray's. Sims held that lead ever from the good start off the line. Simon Toyne right there with him. Brian Morris as well. Good job from him there in 5th position in the Lola. There's O'Brien, he is 6th. Stanzel staying ahead of Hadfield in 7th, then it's Sharples in 9th, ahead of Buckton, then Farrance and Meek. It's a huge group of cars, and Nick Ball just running out wide there. Let's allow Danny Stansel to come through. Let's go on board with his dad and Kevin. So Kevin Stansel headed into Ritchie's, and we know he had Hadfield behind him, and Hadfield dives up on the inside into Ritchie's and gets the place done. You can see the speed that Hadfield carried through the corner. Of course, James Hadfield was running in that leading pack in the first race earlier this afternoon, and they made contact with the Simon Toy that damaged his nose cone, so he had to come in to get that. I think he kind of taken off in the end, but that lost him a lap. The Sims into the hairpin again, still leads the way. We're going to focus battle a bit further back. Buxton's got ahead of Sharples, as has Keith Farrance. So Keith Farrance ahead of Chris Sharples. Sharples fighting back on the inside into the Agostini hairpin, and he goes back through, so the Palliser goes back ahead of the Merlin in the hands of the XV racer, Keith Farrance. So they head their way now through Hamilton. As I say, with these rounds, battles all the way through the field. And now we focus on the battle for the lead, because they're side by side as Max Bartel comes around the outside of Ben Sims, heading into Brundle, and he's getting involved as well as Wesley Mitchell. He goes through the middle of them to take the race lead. A great move from Wesley Mitchell. He did that earlier on, and then span out of Nelson. Doesn't do that this time. So Wesley Mitchell leads the way here at Snetterton in only his 3rd race this season. 6th round of the championship, and Bartel trying to squeeze up on the inside, heading in through Coram, but isn't really a move, and that's allowed Sims now to come round the outside. He's still coming, but it's not exactly the best line to take into the corner, and that means he's actually dropped back. So it's Mitchell, Bartel and Sims. Sims led all this race up to the Brundle left-hander, and now he's back in 3rd with a gap to catch. Crosses the line then to complete lap 3, a second down on leader Mitchell. And now they turn for the right-hander at Ritchie, and he carries loads of speed through the corner. Does Ben Sims. He knows he must not lose the slipstream, otherwise he won't be able to claw his way back into the battle for the lead. That's what happened at Silverstone, which allowed Michael O'Brien to take a good victory there. And Sims now right back onto the gearbox of Max Bartel, well and truly within use of the slipstream. Speed that he carried to Ritchie was quite remarkable. Down the short straight then between Palmer and Agostini, and Bartel's on the inside of Wesley Mitchell now then. Bartel can't quite get alongside Mitchell. Wesley will be handing that car over to his son Sam, who won the championship last season, next time out at Cadwell Park, which takes place over the 21st and 22nd of June. But we head to the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit for the HSCC Super Prix. Mitchell though just 2 wheels on the grass on the exit of Oggies. After Brands Hatch we head to Croft for the Nostalgia weekend and the Gold Cup at Oulton Park. Bank holiday in August. Ben Sims trying to come on the outside of Bartel here. Brands Hatch and then Silverstone round off the season. Sims inside line then to take 2nd away from Bartel. He gets it done. So it's Mitchell that leads out of Nelson. In 2nd position is Sims, and 3rd Bartel. Back on board we can go with Kevin Stansel, who's been passed. That's Kaviri. Kaviri's gone on the inside of him. Kaviri trying to get past Buckton as well as they head down towards Hamilton. Kaviri's on the inside and he gets a place there. Oh, and Stansel slid out wide there. He's on the grass on the exit of the corner. And that's relinquished. I think that's Keith Farrance has gone ahead of him. Yes, Farrance has gone through. And the outside goes Chris Sharples. A couple of places lost there. I'm running that wide for Kevin Stansel. Didn't spin though, so could have been a lot worse. Leaders through Coram. Mitchell, Sims, Bartel. Simon Toynbee wasn't quite able to go for the first lap. He didn't lose too much time, but he would have closed him in. And Michael O'Brien's up to 5th from the back of the grid. He's got ahead of Brian Morris. And then James Hadfield chasing as well. James Buckton's got back ahead of Kaviri. They turn their way into Murray's. They've got Farrance, Sharples, Stansel, Meek, Benson and Wiggins. We can go on board with Alex Peak in the Merlin Mark 20. A good number of the cars are. It's been slipstreamed by Roland Svensson in the Mark 17 Merlin. And the speed Mick carries around the corner. Svensson was a bit sideways there into the corner as well. That's allowed Mick just to pull out a few more car lengths. Let's go back to the leaders though, because they're heading towards Agostini, and Ben Sims is looking on the inside of Westy Mitchell here. Oh, he's got alongside, halfway alongside, but Mitchell probably with the quicker exit. Or was he? Sims still on the inside, heading into Hamilton, can't quite get it done though. Right-hander, Oggies is next. Again, Mitchell using the wider lines, Sims can't quite eke himself up alongside him. Now the 6th lap of this race is a shortened race. After delays earlier in the day, last race of the day. We're going to go as tight up to the 6:30 curfew as we can. Probably give us a 16-17 minute race. Oh, Sims just touching the grass there, which flicks him into the corner. Or it's actually probably the best line to take. And he's still right there behind Mitchell. We're on board with Bartel, he's in 3rd. 2 Merlin Mark 20s. Sandwich, the Jomo. JMR 7 of 2013 runner-up Ben Sims. Ben Sims has won his championship in the past. As has Westy Mitchell. And they're side by side as they cross the line. In fact, I think that's the completion of lap 5. Indeed, it is. In fact, 5 laps completed here at Snetterton. And it's 3:10, separated to a free. Bartel on the grass at the exit of Ritchie's. He held on to it and didn't actually lose any time. Big sideways moment there for Mitchell through the hairpin, uphill hairpin, but he stays in the lead still. The top two have managed to break away ever so slightly from Max Bartel. Now Sims looks to the inside into Palmer. He's trying to squeeze his way through there, can't quite do it. That's allowed Bartel right onto the back of the top two now. He's looking to the inside. We head down towards the Agostini hairpin, can't do anything though. Hard on the brakes now, down the gears, into the hairpin. Second hairpin, Agostini hairpin. Bartel rattles over the curves on the inside of the corner. But it's still Mitchell that leads. Hamilton next up, the quick left-hander. Bartel just having to back off the throttle a bit because he was running out wide. Still though, well within the slipstream of the top two, and they'll be getting ready to use it as they exit Williams and head down the Bentley straight. Sims right there behind Mitchell, eyeing him up for a move. For the 6th time, heading into the left-hander at Rundle. So underneath the vehicle bridge they go side by side. Sims squeezes around the outside, he gets it done. So he goes through. Ben Sims leads ahead of Wesley Mitchell, and 3rd is Max Bartel. Let's just head back a bit further because Brian Morris has dropped into the pack. Must have made a mistake a lap or so ago, and he's side by side with Keith Farrance now. Farrance gets the move done from the inside line, so he goes through. So they go through the Agostini hairpin. This one on board with Michael O'Brien because he's closed in on Simon Toyne. This is the battle for 4th position, heading down into Coram. They're nose to tail here. What can O'Brien do? Without Toyne, he's looking around the outside at Coram and giving the inside of Murray's. That move's not on though. Oh, but Toyne's outbraked himself into Murray's. What's allowed O'Brien to come through on the inside line. He takes 4th position away there then. As they head on to complete another lap. There's Percy Kaviri, he turns his way through Murray's ahead of Buxton. Then there's Toyne, he's got a... that being Farrance, who's got himself ahead of Brian Morris. A bit further back, there's the 81 car, that's James Lovett, the Lola. Lots of battles all the way through the field, as you can see there. Here come the top 3 then. They're not too far away from Nick Harding's Merlin Mark 11. He's soon to be lapped. Bartel put the attack on Mitchell, can't get it done though. They turn their way out the Agostini hairpin. And up towards the left-hander at Hamilton. going to look back because you've got this battle continuing between Farrance and Morris. Morris all over the back of him. Morris and the Lola, Farrance in the Merlin. You've got Spencer in the Merlin as well, and you've got Kevin Stanzel's just gone on the inside of Andrew Wiggins. Back to the leaders, so they're heading down the Bentley straight. It's Sims leading the way. Using the slipstream is Westy Mitchell to claw, or try and claw around the outside. Couldn't do anything about it though. Penultimate lap, this lap 7. We know there's going to be one more to go when they cross the line. Coram Curve next up then. Bartel's quick through here. See Nick Arden's car just up the road as well. He'll be lapped. Getting ready to start the last lap then. It's nose to tail for the lead. And darting out the slipstream, Westy Mitchell. He pulls in front of Ben Sims then. Yes, Mitchell takes the lead. They're going to lap Arden into the right-hander of Ritchie's. He stays well out the way. Good driving there. Up towards Montreal, Bartel trying to come up alongside Simpler, and Bartel won the race this morning, or early this afternoon. It's possible for him still to win this. Third position on the last lap. It's a long last lap, lots of overtaking opportunities. Sims drifts his way through Palmer, perfectly clipping the apex. Down towards Agostini hairpin. Sims drifts his way on the exit there. Hamilton, this isn't an overtaking opportunity, so they'll stay line of stone through the corner. I think if Bartel wants to win this, he needs to quickly pass Sims. And of course Sims wants to take the lead away from Mitchell because possibly Brundle is the last opportunity to take this. It's possible to overtake into Murray's. You could get the run up across the line as well. But this is the real last overtaking opportunity, and Benson shoots and 8 goes rolling up alongside Westy Mitchell as they turn into the left-hander. Underneath the vehicle bridge they break, and Sims is going to go right around the outside of Westy Mitchell here to take the race lead. He's got the inside line for Nels, and it takes it. And Westy Mitchell quickly, I don't know if he was trying to get the cut back on Sims or defend his line to Bartel, because I think if he didn't do that, Bartel would have been alongside him and passed into the wrong hole. He couldn't do it though, so we head down the corner. Ben Sims looking good for the win possibly, but it's still pretty close. Bartel looking on the inside of Westy Mitchell, couldn't do anything there though. It's narrowly between Sims and Mitchell to the win, surely. Into the left-hander at Murray's then. Sims slides its way through the corner. Has he scrubbed any speed off by doing that? Westy Mitchell's actually had a very good exit to the corner. He's in the slipstream of Ben Sims, and they come up across the line. The checker black being prepared, he darts out the toe, and they're absolutely side by side as they cross the line. Who took the victory in that one then? It was very hard to tell from the camera here. Nothing's come up on the timing screen yet. Let's have a look on board with Ben Sims. See Mitchell just coming alongside him at the last second. The slow motion replay, and it's so close to tell, but on the timing screens it says 1,000th of a second in favour of Ben Sims. How close is that? You can't get any closer than that. 1,000th of a second. So Ben Sims wins from Westy Mitchell. No closer than that without it being a complete tie. So Ben Sims wins. Second is Westy Mitchell. Third, Max Bartel. Michael O'Brien finished in fourth, less than 5 seconds behind after starting from the back. Simon Toyne finished fifth. James Hadfield come up to sixth, with Percy Caveri in seventh. James Buckton eighth. Keith Farrance in ninth, and Brian Morris completed the top 10. Here's how the championship order is, and heading into Cadwell Park. Nobody's surprised that Ben Sims is leading the way after taking 3 wins and 3 second places. He's got a 44-point lead to Max Bartel, and Michael O'Brien in third after his retirement earlier on. James Buckton's fourth in the championship, with Brian Morris in fifth, and just completing the 2 races. Tiff Liddell was sixth, just ahead of Westy Mitchell, Percy Caveri, Simon Toyne, and Stuart Baird completing the top 10.